Hello everyone, my name is Rainer and this is my channel Rainierbooks. Today I welcome you to Tech Thursday. Yeah, it's a Thursday that I filmed this video and it's a Thursday that I'm going to upload this video. But I know that Tech Tuesday is normally the day when you upload tech videos, but maybe since I'm going to tag a couple of people, maybe you will do this on Tuesday next week if you are interested. For a long time I have thought about doing my own original tag video, my first original Booktube tag video, and here it is. This is called the Booktube Backstage Tag by me, Rainer from Rainierbooks. So let's get started. I have realized that tech videos are very popular on Booktube, and I have also realized that because I like to watch them, I like to do them, that they are very interesting because we have the chance to learn a little bit more about ourselves and about our fellow booktubers. So that's why I'm doing this original tech video. When I watch your videos, my fellow booktubers out there, I always wonder, how do you do that? In the beginning I wondered a little bit more because I was pretty new. I didn't know what to do with my camera, with my photo camera, so I didn't know what devices I should use and what editing tools I should use, what microphones and so on. And I was also interested because we are booktubers, right? We read a lot of books, but probably I thought, because I do it, I also watch television shows. I love to watch movies. I love to listen to music. Probably we're also consuming other forms of culture, and I wanted to do a tag that combines all these things, asking a little bit about the backstage of our booktubers and of the taste we have outside the bookish world. So here's a bunch of questions that I have gathered. So the first one is, what camera do you use? I can't show you the camera because the camera is right now working, but I can show you a picture of the camera. I'm right now filming with a very small camera, which is a Sony RCX 107 in Latin numbers, the 7, which I have bought last year. I started filming with my smartphone, with my Huawei P30 Pro, which is, I think, the best camera phone on the market. Maybe now it's the P40 Pro. But I think the Sony gives even more quality to the videos, and it also enables me it has the possibility to film in 4K, which is not always visible in my videos, I guess, because usually I film in the dark because I'm a night man, or a night person, as we say in German. So it's not that visible in the dark. I hope it's better visible today, actually, when I film this video, that this is a good quality that the camera brings to the video. So the next question, second question, is, speaking about filming and being your own director, do you have a favorite film, also movie, which is movie director? If you'd asked my 27 to 25-year-old self, that's a couple of years ago, I would directly answer it would have been Woody Allen at the time. I have seen all his movies in those years that he did. I went to the movies for every new Woody Allen film, for Zelig, for Annie Hall, Manhattan, and all those kinds of movies. Today, I have to honestly confess that I'm not able to see Woody Allen films any longer because of things that have happened in his biography. I just can't. But it's also my taste in movies has changed a little bit over the years, I guess. At the same time, in my 20s, I watched a lot of French movies. I liked the Nouvelle Vague, which came in the 1950s, and I saw those movies mostly on television in the 80s, I guess. And directors like Jean-Luc fascinated me, although I have to admit that I did not understand a lot of his very experimental movies. But I was more drawn to directors like Claude Chabrol, who made movies about the French bourgeoisie. Very beautiful movies about the lies and deceptions that people in the French bourgeoisie lived with at the time. And then, of course, a literature professor. I think his name is Maurice Scherer, but when he made films, he called himself Éric Rohmer. He made very talkative movies with lots of talk, but with beautiful people. And I really loved his music, like Pauline à la plage, for example. It's a beautiful one. And I think the most favorite film director that I had at that time was a guy who died so incredibly young, François Truffaut, who made so many beautiful movies and who coined this great expression when being asked, what kind of movies do you want to make, Monsieur Truffaut? He answered, I want to make movies that you can watch on a Saturday night at 8 p.m. on television or in the cinema. And when you have seen them, you don't have to feel ashamed for having watched them. That was his approach to making movies. And I love Truffaut. And his first movie was called Les 4-5 coups in French. And he made movies like Vivement Dimanche, which means rapidly Sunday, with actors like Jean-Luc Trintignant, but also Gérard Depardieu and Fanny Ardant. I love this kind of movies from France a lot. And then I fell in love with two Finnish brothers, movie directors. There was the wonderful Mika Kaurismäki was the first one, actually, the lesser known brother of the two, that I loved for his movie Arvotomat, The Worthless, which he did in 1982. It was his exam work for the film directors college in Munich in Germany. Paris, Texas, the movie by Wim Wenders from the 1980s, with Harry Dean Stanton and Nastasia Kinski in the leading roles, and the amazingly beautiful music of Ry Cooder, and the cinematography by Robbie Muller, who showed America and the United States in such beautiful pictures from Paris, Texas to California. I really loved it. And of course, Martin Scorsese has made an early impact actually on me. I saw one of his first movies, Alice Doesn't Live Here Anymore. It was a movie that I really loved with Ellen Burstyn. But then he, of course, Taxi Driver, I think, is the one that is still resonating a lot. It's a movie with its music and its atmosphere, and it's Robert De Niro at his best, that combines everything. And Jodie Foster, in one of her early roles, combines everything that cinema is, why cinema is being loved. Audio is apparently very important for our product, which is Films on Booktube. What microphone do you use and what program do you use to edit your videos? I'm using right now a microphone that is called Rode Pro. That's an Australian, Rode Mic Pro, which is an Australian microphone, which I have connected to my camera. And I have started just about a week ago, because I got a new computer. Just about a week ago, I started editing my films, my clips with Adobe Element. What is it called? Adobe Premiere Elements, which is the simple version of Adobe Premiere, which is a very good program, actually. I really like it. It's very easy to use and goes very, very quickly. I'm very satisfied with that one. Audio means listening, more or less, means I listen. Do you remember the first record that you bought or received as a gift in your life? I love music. I loved it from my early years probably, and I will always love music. And that's why I also did a video about the 10 best albums of 2020. The first record that I bought, I am actually not so sure anymore, because that was a couple of years ago. And I bought ABBA Greatest Hits with this money, and with all the songs like Waterloo, Dancing Queen, Fernando, and so on, and Honey Honey, SOS, and so on. My first single that I got was a German cover version of Amarillo by a German-Cuban singer named Roberto Blanco. And that's really a little bit embarrassing, because I wanted the original single by Tony Christie. Is this the way to Amarillo? It was pop music that I don't listen to that much anymore, but at the time I was like 12 years old. So I wanted to have this single by Tony Christie, but my mother thought, oh my God, my son should have this in German, because he wouldn't understand all the words of Tony Christie. So she gave it in German. I got the German version by Roberto Blanco. And like the character in Suvankam Tamavongsa's story, How to Pronounce Knife, who lies to her father, I lied to my mother, because when she gave the single to me, Amarillo by Roberto Blanco, I said, thank you very much, oh, so nice. But I really didn't like it. Number 5, writing scripts can be extremely useful. How do you prepare your videos? Do you have talking points? Do you have a detailed script, or are you just talking? I have done everything of these things, but sometimes I forget so many things that I wanted to say. And there are way too many ums and ohs and ands in my text that I think I should use a little more script, and that's what I have done in the last 2 or 3 videos that I did. And I really admire to name one of my fellow booktubers here, to name one of you. I really admire the Poptimist from Canada. He's really the guy who has, I think, the best flow of us all in his videos. Question number 6 is, TV shows have become the thing of our time. Game of Thrones, Stranger Things, Netflix, HBO, Amazon Premium, whatever you have in the United States. You have so much more things and channels. What are your favorite TV shows ever? Name a maximum of 3. I was a late starter to this newer development, I would say, television shows, because I think it's not much older than 15, 17 years maybe. So I was pretty late and pretty old when I discovered The Sopranos on HBO, and when I sort of went to HBO and watched a couple of months for HBO. So I found The Sopranos, 86 episodes, 45 or 50 minutes or whatever. And when I grew up in the 70s and in the early 80s, one of my favorite TV shows, and still one of my favorite TV shows, was The Rockford Files with James Garner, where James Garner is a private detective and he lives in a trailer home at the beach of Malibu outside Los Angeles in California, and with his father, Noah Beery, and some other beautiful actors. And Jim Rockford, he solved his cases in 45 minutes. Boom, next case, next week, next case. But of course this has changed, and The Sopranos is like just one movie consisting of, as you know, 86 episodes of 50 minutes. That's just incredible. And so I started liking this kind of way of doing movies. So The Sopranos is a very violent show, but a very absolute masterpiece, and one of the best of ever, I think, with the incredibly sad eyes and lost eyes of James Gandolfini, who passed away a couple of years ago, way too early. He was Tony Soprano. He was a nice neighbor sometimes, but then suddenly he could become very ruthless and violent and could kill someone within a couple of seconds. And I also loved, of course, his consigliere and all the actors in the show. But since I'm a great fan of Bruce Springsteen and the E Street Band, I was, of course, enthusiastic about Silvio Dante, the consigliere played by Bruce Springsteen's guitar player Steve Van Zandt, who was known as Little Steven in the E Street Band. I would also like to mention The Wire, of course, which was also HBO, and maybe for to have one European or one British series in it here is Luther, with Idris Elba as the Londoner inspector or detective chief, superintendent or whatever, John Luther, who is a very special policeman. London Noir series in 4 seasons by the BBC, not in consecutive years, but several years in between sometimes. And there's this great attraction between these two characters, John Luther, played by Idris Elba, and Ruth Wilson, who's playing Alice Morgan, who in the first season kills her parents, and Luther cannot bring her to justice because she did it on such incredible way by letting her dog digest the weapon she killed her parents with. And then Alice and John develop a very special relationship over the seasons. And that is really a fascinating show that I really, really loved. Unfortunately, it is over. Number 7, we're not only creators, but also viewers. So what kind of Booktube videos do you prefer to watch, and why? Reviews, wrap-ups, vlogs, book hauls, tag videos? I think that question was a little bit easier when I wrote it down. Then I was wondering, oh my God, what am I looking at on Booktube? But I think that the most important thing to me are first the books that you read and that you present and that you sort of make me interested in. This is, I think, the most important thing. But I also like to learn more about my favorite booktubers. So tag videos are really a good thing. And vlogs are a good thing. I also always like to see, for example, Karen, when you do your beautiful vlogs about your wonderful Lake Michigan, that's really so beautiful, and all the parks and nature. That's always good to see, and I hope to maybe able to show all of you a little bit more about Sweden and maybe even Europe when this pandemic finally is not over, because it won't be over that long, but when we all are jabbed, or many of us are jabbed and got the jabs, and we are able to travel again. The last question is, watching television was probably a part of all our childhoods these years. It has become less popular. What kind of media user are you in general? Despite my age, which is on the higher side probably, I am quite a social media kind of guy. I have accounts everywhere. I am on YouTube, on Twitter, on Facebook, on Goodreads, on Flickr, on Tumblr, on WordPress, on Telegram, on WhatsApp, on Voxer, on Last.fm, on Spotify, on Pokemon Go, and I have even been on Parler until Amazon shut it down to once or twice be able to look into the mouth of hell. So I'm quite a lot on social media, and this, of course, prevents me a lot from watching television because it takes up my time. So I would say I don't watch television at all anymore. At least not, form of television that you would say, okay, at 6 p.m. there's this program on TV, and I watch it when they broadcast it here on Swedish television or on German television. No, I'm a watcher on the computer, on my smartphone, mostly on my computer, I have to say. Like yesterday, I watched when Donald Trump broke another record and got impeached for the second time. I watched this on PBS on my computer. And sometimes I watch things in the aftermath, like the Swedish news Aktuellt, which comes 9 p.m. every night. I do not watch them every evening, but I watch them like 4 or 5 times a week, but then can be at midnight or later or whenever I have the possibility. It was quite funny when I was traveling in Canada and the United States in 2017 and 18, were my 2 only visits to North America. This was quite funny because we didn't have an North American SIM card, which meant that internet was super expensive for us when we were on the road. On the road again, I just can't wait to get on the road again. I love that song by the great Willie Nelson. But we were on the road and we couldn't use so much social media. And that was kind of good because the bruise was not around us all the time and we really could enjoy everything. I won't say that this distracts me too a lot, but there's a lot of social media in my life, and that's the kind of media user I am, I guess. So these were my 8 props, the 8 questions of my original tag, the Backstage Booktube, the Booktube Backstage Tag. And I'm going to tag 8 people here now because I had 8 questions. I'm tagging Brian from Bookish, Giotsna from Giotsna's Bookscapades, Karen Evans, Paula from Draw Your Book, Courtney Ferrider, Jack the Ramblin' Raconteur, Sarah from Hardcover Hearts, and Bill Rutenberg from the Rutenberg Library. These 8 people I tag, and I would love to see your videos and many other videos coming out of this new tag, hopefully, which is, I hope, interesting to some of us. Thanks very much for watching this video. If you like it, subscribe to my channel. You help me so much if you don't do it already. And as always in my videos, until this horrible pandemic is over or close to being over, I say wear a mask, socially distance, be careful when you're outside, and stay safe. And I see you soon. Bye-bye.